Okay, this is just a little review on the concept of diffusion. And to look at diffusion, let's just draw a beaker here, and we'll think about what's happening to some molecules in this beaker. So we have a beaker of water, and what we're going to do is pretend that we're dropping in a drop of red food coloring. Okay, there's our red food coloring dropping in, and we'll call this time equals 0. Okay, this is time 0 minutes. Okay, so at 0 minutes, we're just dropping it in. Let me just maybe copy this beaker, and then we have another beaker here. And so let's look at it, what happens to it in a few minutes. So we drop that in, and right away when it happens, you'll see that because the drop is more dense than the surrounding water, it's going to tend to hit the bottom of the glass and spread around and make these cool kind of swirls as it spreads around. It'll kind of fill the bottom of the glass. As long as you don't want to mix it, just let it mix on its own. And what you'll see after this happens, for a little bit, this is probably only time. Oops, there we go. Time equals maybe 2 minutes. Okay, so after about 2 minutes, you're going to see something like this, and you'll start to see it swirl. So if we try to paste another one here. Okay, let's move this one over here and slide this over a little bit. Move that maybe right there. Okay, now let's take a look and see what happens at about 15 minutes. So if we change the time here to time now is equals 15 minutes. So at 15 minutes, what's going to be happening? What you'll notice is that these molecules really start to spread around, and although it's still concentrated near the bottom, it'll be a little darker color down there. You're going to start to see a pink hue in the surrounding water. It's going to start to spread out. What's causing it to spread out? Because we're not stirring it, we're not moving it around or anything like that. So what's causing this effect? That's kind of the question, and that's where we get into this concept of diffusion. So what's happening with this diffusion, if you could zoom in and look at the molecules, let's just say we could zoom in and look at the molecules inside of there, what would be happening there? Well, the molecules in there, that red food dye, they are bouncing around. Like all matter, especially liquids and gases, they're going to be moving around quite a bit. Even solids are going to vibrate a little bit. So the molecules are moving around, and as they move around, some of them will collide into each other. And so as they collide into each other, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction, and they're going to bounce in the opposite direction. Well, they're going to keep bouncing, and if I can just pretend like this is the wall of the container right here, they're going to keep bouncing until they hit something, the wall of the container, for example. And so eventually they'll spread out in that entire volume of liquid. So that's what's going to cause this effect where these are going to spread out. Now this is something that happens in nature. It's a concept that you'll see repeated, where everything in nature wants to reach a state of equilibrium. It's where it's the most stable, where it feels the most comfortable, if you want to think of it in terms of human emotions. So this is just a quick review of how diffusion works and how those molecules are going to be spreading around because they're colliding off of each other, and you'll see this effect if you drop one drop of red food coloring or different color into a glass of water.